10 seconds remaining. Team Empire's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus.Pro's turn to ban.
Hello everybody and welcome to the third game. Both of our sets today have gone the distance, but this one, Team Empire versus Virtus.Pro, will decide who continues on in that upper bracket to face Danish Bears. I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by Gorgon, the Wonder Cow. And Phoenix Band, finally Phoenix Band.
Yeah, that implies Virtus.Pro are getting ready for a high-strength
Or
lineup.
I maybe did not... No, I did unmute you. Okay, Gorgon's just dead. You know what happens? Sometimes your co-caster dies.
You know, it was between games, I was trying to shove as much fried rice into my mouth as humanly possible, so because I knew we could be here for another hour and I hadn't eaten yet today. And I didn't want to chew in your ears.
I am actually eating a cupcake as we speak. It's impressive.
Careful with the mic.
Yeah.
Those viewers with misophonia will cry even more than normal
Exactly.
when you start chewing in the mic. So, yeah.
But you were gonna say
Death Prophet coming out already, and I was trying to say the implication of that Phoenix, not only that they don't want to deal with the Phoenix again, but also that they very well are considering a high-strength lineup here.
Yeah, I think VP deciding that, hey, if they can't take us down, we don't have too many problems with the Death Prophet damage. As long as we're tanky enough. It's the Sunray. It's when we can't kill the Death Prophet. So let's make sure that we can bring it to her before she gets the Yules up, before all of that goes well. But I like Team Empire. There's nice synergy between Death Prophet and Earth Spirit in the mid lane. You can get 2 slows off on someone, and that usually results in a kill.
Yeah, it often, if it doesn't result in a kill, it at least gives you some sustainability in the lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for Virtus.Pro, they are taking their sweet time considering what they want to pair with this Doom. We've already seen them run a couple of different strategies today for mixed results. I don't know, the Life Stealer is going to come out. That is something that we know they are comfortable playing.
I do wonder if they'll try to go for the AA themselves or block it here.
Yeah.
I don't know. It did have good impact, I feel, last game, but...
Could have been better, could have been worse.
Yeah, that's how it really felt. It felt like the AA... There's nothing where I was saying... There were a couple of ice blasts that were really huge, but there was nothing where I was saying, yeah, that 5-man team fight was won because of the ice blast.
I will say the one where they overchased the Sven too far, that I think the Ice Blast won that team fight, because it hit all of them either in the blast or in the tail, and very clearly the amount of damage that they had to do was cut down significantly because of it. So I will say that one I will hand squarely the way of FNG in terms of making the reality of that fight work, even though Ramses did, or excuse me, Aloha Dance did successfully bait him out far enough for the Ice Blast. But other than that, no, I think you're right.
It's always just really hard to say, because, as you said, it could have gone a lot worse. Sometimes we see AAs have trouble to get any impact at all. So, but Empire ban out Puck, ban out the Tinker, had enough of G's heroes, and really want to make sure that Death Prophet gets off to a strong start, it looks like.
Yeah, I want to make sure that G is not able to be as impactful. Also, they want to make sure that there's not a lot of burst damage in the lane, it seems, so that you don't have the Death Prophet just falling before the Spirit Siphon can save her back up. Think about it, before the Death Prophet can actually get healed, if the Puck is able to get in and get some burst alongside the Doom throwing out that Infernal Blade, likely that's already a death on the Death Prophet. Yeah. Same for the Tinker. The Laser Rocket combo is likely already a death on the Death Prophet before she's able to heal back up.
Well, we will see again the Lion come out, and then the Disruptor, highly prized. Interesting pickup here. I'm not sure whether the plan is to send folks away when the Earth Spirit rolls in. whether there's some other synergy here that they're looking for on VP that isn't
5
revealed yet,
seconds
since they don't
remaining.
have something which groups people other than the Disruptor as of yet.
Yeah, they could go for something like a
Reserve
Darkseer
time.
offlane. That would pair decently well into what they're doing, right? The Darkseer pairs up well with the Doom because of the damage over time of Ion Shells Earth, especially in the early game. It gives you the Surge on the Lifestealer, but they're going to ban it out themselves. So...
Yeah, that's why I'm not
What?
sure what the play is, and actually Team
Virtus
Empire, they're
Pro's
starting to get some
turn
really
to
nice ways of grouping people up. You get one good call, can lead into a nice Crypt Swarm, magnetize on everyone, Lion managing to get that 3-man Earth Spike you're always looking for.
I'm really unsure
10
where
seconds
Virtus.Pro
remaining.
goes for their synergy now. They banned out Beastmaster, they banned out
5
Void, and they
seconds
banned
remaining.
out Darkseer, and those are the 3 heroes off lane that seem like they would fit the best in this
Reserve
lineup.
Yeah, I agree. It's a... Well, it may be
They-
VP just not, first of all, it could be the Doom offlane, it could be the Lifesteal offlane, and
They
we could just be out wrong.
revert to the Earthshaker offlane that they did
Yep.
last time as well.
It wasn't awful. The Earthshaker got a lot done with early Echo Slams before the Blink. I was actually pretty surprised with how much the Earthshaker was able to get done before the Blink.
Yes, and a good part of that was that Virtus.Pro kind of collapsed into that mid lane and prioritized that mid lane very heavily, but also bear in mind that the decisions the Earthshaker made in order to provide support around the map did leave their opponent's Lifestealer to farm freely, take an early tower, and get up that level 11 and Radiance that much quicker. So there were definitely, while he was actively doing a lot where he was also, the opportunity cost of not being somewhere else was very high as well.
10
Well,
seconds
VP gonna take all of their reserve time on this last pick up
5
here in this
seconds
phase, not last overall, which is really unusual. And it's just a Witch Doctor.
So
Okay,
it is off
so-
lane Doom
Turn
problem.
to ban.
Yeah, VP seem to be having a lot of trouble figuring out exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, they this doesn't seem like what they were planning from the get-go either, because if they are going to grab the Witch
10
Doctor,
seconds
that pairs
remaining.
much better with the Faceless Void that they banned out. They could go into an aggressive
5
tri-lane.
seconds
The
remaining.
Lifestealer Disruptor Witch Doctor would be pretty decent at that. Unfortunately, they would probably be able to or their opponents would probably just rotate the Axe out that way, and that would shut that business down pretty quickly.
Well, we're just gonna see a quad ban out. I like this. Obviously, a strong
seconds
hero for
remaining.
G. They have
More
poor
bursts
G.
as well out of the mid lane.
This is
5
just-
seconds remaining.
G doesn't have heroes left to play. I'm kind of wondering what we're actually gonna see up here from him.
Reserve time.
Well, we're about to find out. A Wind Ranger is still available in the
Turn to
pool.
pick.
That's something that they sometimes do run with pretty decent success this patch. It pairs okay, but it's not great into the Axe. In terms of other heroes that they do run mid that you might be
10
likely to see,
seconds remaining.
maybe an Alchemist comes out. They run it. I'm not sure if they run it mid
5
ever, but I
seconds
think they do.
remaining.
So, Virtus.Pro have fewer options. Okay,
Team Empire.
Venomancer mid? sure, why not?
I mean, it worked for their opponents
They
last
could
time.
be Venomancer off lane and Doom mid as well, but yeah, the whole situation is a little weird for Virtus.Pro. This is not a very
10
common
seconds
sort of draft.
remaining.
Stuff is all over the place, to say the least, and
5
we
seconds
will be
remaining.
seeing. I am expecting Doom off lane. They
Me
could
too.
also run aggro. It could. I think that trying to get the Lifestealer into the Axe could actually be good for them, though, since you can, even though Axe does have that pure damage spin, you can sometimes chunk him down pretty well. If you catch him out, and especially with a glimpse backwards, as long as you don't let him call you in creeps.
Yeah, the one issue that I think you're really going to be worried about there is that the call pierces magic immunity, so you can be pulled in with the rage, wasting your rage duration, and then you get stunned out by the lion and pushed back by the earth spin. And then, of course, you still have the pure damage spins. Axe is pretty good in tri-lanes. I'm not saying that they couldn't win an aggressive tri-lane. They theoretically could. Witch Doctor is very good in an aggressive tri-lane. Disruptor is very good at catching heroes running away from an engagement, which makes him theoretically powerful in a tri-lane, but it would be risky, to say the least.
I feel like like it's a really odd lineup from VP from the standpoint of I feel like everything works really well if people are grouped up, but they have no tool to actually force people to group up. Unless I'm missing something.
And in fact, their opponents have a lot of tools to deter grouping up. They have the Lycan, who's going to be able to split push and get around very, very quickly. The Death Prophet Exorcism deters your opponents from grouping up into you, which creates wider fights. The Earth Spirit has Magnetize, which also deters your opponents from grouping up, in this case Virtus.Pro. And if Virtus.Pro is not grouped up, then it's very unlikely the Empire will group up. They'll chase out after the viable targets that are around.
Prepare for battle.
We'll have to see in a second. We'll be jumping in here. Axe has a huge blade. That's some Dark Souls business going on there. Like, that thing is pretty ridiculous. So let's get into it and do some introductions on that ridiculously weaponed up Axe who got Afterlife. We're gonna have Lycan being played by Ramses. We've got Death Prophet being played by Scandal. Lion rocking King and finally Miposhka on that Earth Spirit.
Alright, I'm here for Virtus.Pro on the Radiant side. We've got SFM. Wow, I can't talk today, Llama. Just leave me behind. I did die during the break. Okay. FNG on the Disruptor, Yoki straight from hell on the Doom, G keeping it sick on the Venomancer, Aloha Dance on the Lifestealer, and No Fear doing that voodoo he do so well on the Witch Doctor. I'm back.
That's okay. No worries. And we will be already seeing a nice ward out here, so Goku completely seen out here. He has a nice set too. He's got like some feathers. Yeah, that's nice. Those might actually be spikes, never mind. Some decorative
very
pieces there.
Pointy feathers.
Yeah, it's good. People come up to you, you stab them. That's how the Scorched Earth actually works. But the normal rune split. I'm a little bit worried about Venomancer in this mid lane against a Death Prophet and a roaming Earth Spirit.
Yeah, it could potentially be trouble. You are very right about that. But I was going to say, on the flip side of that, Venomancer should be able to farm from pretty far back.
You can use the wards, you can stay back, already using that bounty rune to make sure that he gets a salve, expecting some aggression, most likely. And Earth Spirit just popping by. Has that Orb of Venom as well. We already see the bottom lane abandoned by the Axe. We've seen this before. It might just open up those support rotations.
Yeah, more than likely they're going to be able to rotate that Disruptor out earlier, defend the mid lane a little bit, but the Doom is also abandoning the top lane right away, right? So both teams are just running a 0-1-2-2, basically. Two roaming heroes instead of an offlaner.
Yeah, this is getting more and more popular, right? We've been seeing this all... I'm not sure, I feel like it was happening a little bit last patch with the introduction of the Iron Talon, but it's really picked up speed this patch, and Scandal actually taking quite a bit of harassment from G. Nokia was trying to come on in and get something. They will manage to get the stun. Earth Spirit gonna try to come in. Did that actually bounce back?
No.
This traitorous creep allowed the paralyzing Kalsk in the first blood to go down, and now Miposhka takes about half of his life in hell.
Oh, no, that's just rough. That little bit of bouncy. And also... The rotation from Miposhka probably would have created a bounce opportunity anyway. I thought originally that it was going to bounce off of the Earth Spirit.
I think they had it bounce or no, but it would have forced them to stick around for a little bit longer, and maybe Miposhka could have gotten something, but that bounce back, just painful there. And so, yep, First Blood will be going out to VP.
Looks like... yeah, it did bounce. So, pretty rough.
Yeah.
If you had told me in 2012 or 2013 that it would be commonplace to simply have both teams leave a lane wholly uncontested from the very beginning of the game, I would not have believed that possible. But the changes that we've seen to the Iron Talon, to the jungle, to the lane creep, equilibrium, and value of creeps and experience, as well as the potential for pull and control, has made tri-lanes just much less viable, and teams are experimenting a lot with what they can do by just giving their opponents some farm.
Yeah, it's definitely really interesting to see how successful it can be. Oh, it looks like Scandal might be going down here again. The Thunder Strike as well, just so much damage coming out of G, and one more tap. Disruptor will get it, and the TP is cancelled.
Already VP doing a very good job of controlling the pace of this game. The Doom is going to get back to the fountain, no problems, and theoretically they should come online relatively close to the same period of time that Empire do. The Lycan should be going a little bit faster, and if Empire are able to leverage that successfully, that could create problems for VP. It also depends on how the Lifestealer is going to build.
Yeah, I think that Aloha Dance has opportunities to go that very aggressive Desolator build that we very rarely see, but since there's nothing stopping him from an omelet, I'm expecting that to be what comes out.
Right, yeah, there's no, for example, Ancient Apparition on the other team like there was last game, so you're right. An armlet is likely to come out, and that will help him scale very quickly into the mid.
Actually, Miposhka getting a lot of farm on this bottom lane, a lot of experience. I'm a little surprised. I think Earth Spirit deciding there wasn't too much he could do either in top or middle, and so dedicating time there, down bottom instead.
Yeah, he is going to rotate mid, see if he can get a kill on G. G is pretty far forward.
Yeah, there will be
pushback.
the roll, and he can't quite get that pushback. Will kick on through. One more auto attack. He eats the fairy fire. They need another. Can G get away with the small amounts of regen? No, he can't. That'll be him going down.
Miposhka will trade for his life. That's a trade that you will make.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
block.
No
by
fear. Will just manage to get it at the same time. The Disruptor going down. No, one hit away. And now Scandal trying to pick up No Fear. Just comes back with the Buddha Restoration. He has no fear. Oh my goodness, eats the Fairy Fire, gets the kill.
It's under attack.
That's living up to your name in a way we don't see very often. The trades there, throwing back. He walked in with 2 auto attacks left on him and a fairy fire to his name, and walks away a champion.
That was the most value Buddha Restoration and Fairy Fire I think I've ever seen.
Like how he used his fairy fire, and then Scandal was like, "Oh shit!" and he used his own fairy fire. Couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, so that support's getting rich. We just saw a series of all of the supports on both sides kind of getting some goodness there. Gonna help out just around the map when it comes to vision and couriers being upgraded in timely fashion, smokes and so on.
Now, all the while, the Aloha Dance is farming much better than the Lycan. He's sitting at 43, 44 last hits compared to the Lycan's 38. Granted, the Lycan does have an innate damage output that
Radiant's top
exceeds
tower is
Lifestealers through the early game, but he does need some core items up before he can at least jump into Roche and get that Aegis, which is one of the Lycan advantages.
On the other hand, there is something a little bit scary for VP in that the Axe is also farming incredibly well. Obviously, the CS a little overinflated since Afterlife has been jungling, but making really good progress. Already has those tranquils up and is pretty high on the net worth chart. We are going to see a double kill. Oh gosh, they are not done yet. They will find the Lion. Maybe they'll even find up Miposhka here if he's not careful. Those wolves doing so much work onto the Witch Doctor. That'll be that.
He's going to hang out for a little while. He wants to make a kill happen here, but I don't think he can. He's waiting for a rotation from somebody, or he wouldn't be hanging out this far forward. The Axe is going to rotate bottom, though, and try to steal out some of these camps. Maybe try to get a rotation on the Lifestealer if he gets some friends.
I think maybe the Lifestealer
Here we go.
comes on him, draws. Oh. Yep, we have another go going on to Yoku. This is not looking great for our Doom friend.
There
And
we
he
go.
will fall.
That's what Miposhka was waiting. The fact that the Doom saw him kind of hanging out around here and clariting up, but did not stop to think, maybe that's the time that Miposhka is planning on re-engaging me.
Oh my goodness, No Fear doing it again. There will be 2 Spirit Siphons, but No Fear just gonna stand there using that Buddha Restoration. The Maledicts should have it. G getting the last hit, had a DD, just too much damage.
There is a such thing as too much manning up, and I feel like Empire are experiencing that right now. Death Prophet just tried to go 1-on-3, and you know the Death Prophet was aware that it was 1-on-3 because he was attacking one hero while Spirit Siphoning 2 other heroes, right?
Yeah.
He was very aware of what was going on there.
Think
Dire's middle tower is
Maybe
under
just
attack.
thinking she could get away with it. We've seen how powerful Spirit Siphon can be, and just a slight miscalculation, not expecting the DD to hurt so much. Or I think as well that the 2 points would be up in the Maledict. We don't often see that early on a Witch Doctor.
Yeah, this is going to become a difficult lane to contest, though, for Scandal. Scandal, as a hero, right, very reliant on the Crypt Swarm to create an opportunity for last hits. The Plague Wards are magic immune, will not be hit by that Crypt Swarm, so she can right-click down the Plague Wards, but it's a slow process for her. She doesn't hit very hard at all. and she will probably just kind of get zoned out of this lane.
Yeah, Scandal does have those 26 lost hits, but when you look at the net worth chart, the Death Prophet is below the Witch Doctor.
At least above her supports.
Yeah, she finally just got over the Witch Doctor again, so
Radiant's
not
top
looking
tower is
pretty.
under
And we can
attack.
see only 8 minutes in, already over 1,000 gold lead for VP. It's not too huge, but it's something. We have some business going on. There will be a TP in. They do manage to get the tower. Lycan may just run it away. They've thrown out the Doom onto one, the Hadoken. I think they're getting that Lion, and now Lycan in quite a bit of trouble, trying to blow up FNG. Will manage to get it. There is the glimpse backwards. How long will this wolf form last? He's got it for another few seconds there, but he is able to TP on out
Middle tower
and
is
his
under
way.
attack.
Okay, they got something at least.
Oh, and Lion denied to the neutrals.
Okay, never mind. They didn't get anything. Empire came out very ahead there, knocking down the tower, although it is not a particularly useful tower. At least Lycan got the last hit, so you do get the gold out of that, denying the Lion and getting the Lycan away. This is what I was talking about a minute ago when I said Lycan should innately kind of come online a little bit earlier than his opponents.
Yeah, he can do a massive amount of work in that Lycan form, and the other issue is right now they don't have a great way of stopping him. They have paralyzing calls to bounce around. Maybe they can catch him in a kinetic field. Other than that, DP are lacking solutions, just boring old stuns.
Yeah, the answer to the Lycan is not. Scandal is gonna have
Oh,
to
a
keep it going.
beautiful blink in called in the middle of the creeps. There's gonna be one chop. There's another one. The dump's coming out. Finally, Aloha Dolph trying to get a pick up onto Afterlife, trying to take advantage of him being so tanky, but he just moves too
Dire's
fast.
middle tower is under attack.
Empire have been doing a very good job
Radiant's bottom
of
tower
maintaining
is under
control of the
attack.
pacing of this game based on the value of their heroes at this time, despite the fact that they came out at the beginning of the game from behind. And meanwhile, during that engagement, G almost got a kill on the Death Prophet, did use his ultimate, and is now going to just be dunked. Straight up.
Yeah, goodbye G. Doesn't even manage to get off the dunk because the Lycan wolves take it first.
Yeah, Empire have been doing a tremendous job of bouncing back, and this is the value of that Lycan, I guess.
Value of the Lycan, value of the jungling axe,
Oh.
the surprise blink just doing so much good work.
Double damage find on the Lycan is going to help him farm that much faster. He has a Blightstone waiting for him. He does have the Vlads up. He should be able to jump into Roshan here pretty soon.
That's another scary thing for VP. They don't have a great way of doing Roche themselves if they take an objective, as we've talked about. Other than the Venom monster, they don't push globally, and Venom is a slow pusher.
Yeah.
So how do you take objectives if you do win a team fight? And then, of course, that first step of how do you win a team fight right now when Empire's been schooling you?
Yeah, right now the team fight is probably not where they go. Right now they probably just try to force out engagements by the tower and take small skirmishes. Never mind, they're just going to go straight into a team
Well, they're
fight.
gonna try to, but immediately the call onto G, he can't really get too much off, and Yoku will go down there. No Fear being chased as well. G trying to wander away with no Fear, but the wolves do too much damage.
So that, right there, would be a textbook example of why I said they probably don't want to go in and force a team fight right now. They're also going to have this mid tower denied against them to just rub salt in the wound.
Denied.
I mean, incredibly painful here for VP. They had a good lead, now all gone, and their lifestealer no longer farming up the top of the net worth chart. Instead, it's going to be Lycan and the axe.
Yeah, the Lycan should, once again, I mean, he's got medallions now. He can jump into the Roche pit anytime that he wants, as long as his team control the area around it. And the smoke is going to be purchased here on Earth Spirit, presumably flown out pretty soon. Virtus.Pro can kind of get control of this stage of the game if they make sure Disruptor 6, which he just hit,
Radiant's bottom
and
tower
have good
is
vision
under
around the
attack.
Roche pit. Just check it regularly, make sure that they're not giving anything up. Problem is, they're going to start losing their towers here very soon.
Scandal ready with the exorcism, may not even bother dropping it for this tower, depending on who ends up showing up. And we actually do see that Radiant completely know that there's a ward here, but they're not going to get rid of it yet. not really finding it safe. She will end up dropping the exorcism. The glyph does come out. VP needs someone to help them group up, but it's not going to be enough. No fear, about to be called in the middle of a creep wave. There's one spin, there's the silence, there's another spin, and there's the dunk coming out. Afterlife just waiting to see it fall below those ticks. A nice static storm, kinetic heal. They do manage to block out Afterlife, but where is the damage? They drop the poison Nova. Afterlife is still so tanky. Immediately the Hex on Aloha Dance, and the call, the dunk. And they are just doing too much. 3 already dead. Yoku's looking like he's going to be falling too. Can they get another dunk? They're not quite in the right position. Magnetize will end up being what brings him down. Lycan just doing too much damage here for the rest of them.
Yeah, he will probably jump into Roche right now as well.
Oh no, Fear trying to get something done onto Scandal. Just going to drop that death ward. This should be a kill. The Spirit Siphon coming out, and the TP. Scandal just out. Oh, whoa, okay, the cancel on the TP. I think they were, yeah, the glimpse maybe happened there and I didn't notice it because she moved to the exact same spot. They will lose F and G to the Lycan, it looks like. F and G just trying to get the creeps to deny him. And Scandal is still alive down here. May just be able to walk away. What are these supports going to do? Spirit Siphon onto No Fear. Crypt Swarm. No mana for another 2 seconds, but here it comes. Will back on out Scandal. Now the whole team retreating to the tower.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Scandal did cancel that TP because Ramses was coming in. There seemed to be a miscommunication there between Empire. Ramses started to go down toward the Roche pit and then turned around once Scandal got caught out there.
Okay.
And I think Scandal started to TP away on instinct, not realizing that his carry was coming to support him.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if I missed seeing the glimpse go down and was like, okay, I'm sure that happened. It was a weird, it's always hard to see when they don't actually move because you don't super get the tracer on top, but that is going to be a huge win there for Empire. Now probably over 5,000 gold, over 5,000 experience.
And a Roshan in a pear tree here coming their way as well. Things are going pretty well. And the smoke attempt is going to come out of Virtus.Pro. They're just going to keep running into the meat grinder. Hopefully this time they can make something happen. No Doom up though.
And Doom coming forward, he's going to be who initiates. Ramsey just transforms right in front of their faces and gets ready to run at them. Looking for Aloha Dance. They are walking in on that core life stealer. A nice static storm going to zone them. There's the Death Ward flying onto Scandal. They're also maybe the stun coming out. And there is the Magnetize onto all of them. No Fear still trying to poke away at Miposhka, coming in with the Voodoo Restoration to keep his team alive. Somehow Life Stealer had lived until just then. Disruptor gets brought down by the finger, and G manages to drop that poison Nova. He needs more damage, needs to get the poison on through. The paralyzing call's doing good work. They are poking at Ramses, trying to bring this fellow down. They should be able to here. Will the walls end up denying him? He is going to go down. The spins though, Afterlife looking for another dunk, does not have it up, didn't quite get the dunk earlier, and now will be forced to run away. Somehow VP win that fight.
The extension giveth, and the extension taketh away. Empire had an opportunity to back up on that fight after they had lost 2. Decided to double down, which, as it turns out, was not a good call. Empire were pretty far ahead in terms of just having innate pacing control, but they're not so far ahead that when they start to lose a fight, they can guaranteedly swing it back around. And they got a little bit greedy there.
I think the other interesting thing for Empire here, of course, is that suddenly there's kind of Axe who had to go in the jungle, had to, farm that way, couldn't get as much out of the map maybe as other people. He is top of the net worth chart and having a blast.
Yeah, they are probably just going to try to take a pick here, and Venomancer doesn't have an ult.
Yeah, but Ramses will get glimpsed back, has already used that transformation. Oh, okay, Axe thinking about it, thinking about that call. Gonna instead be put into a little bit of trouble. The paralyzing cost will not bounce to anyone. We see a Hex out on Aloha Dance. Both teams posturing, they do no longer have the Lycan wolf form.
So weird.
It's just getting from point A to point B.
A low-speed chase through the river in the jungle. Both teams grouping as 5, getting nothing done during that period. It's very rare that you see that kind of posturing this early in the game at that location, with no Radiant Tier 1 tower remaining to push, and no deaths.
Yeah, I think that it is a bit of posturing. So this game obviously has been a bloodbath. Do you think either team is massively favored here in this constant fighting with their heroes?
I think the more of this constant fighting exists, the better off Virtus.Pro are, because Empire need to be going around and taking objectives, and the more time that they spend fighting, as long as they're not just winning the fights hand down, right? If they're relatively even trades, the farther along Virtus.Pro are going to get with their defensive objectives still standing, and that's just going to make it that much harder for Empire to scale into it. For Virtus.Pro, I think they're doing a pretty decent job of what they need to do, although some of these engagements have seemed overly optimistic. They certainly want to make sure that they have all their ultimates up if they are going to go to try and do a 5-on-5.
Well, the exorcism does come out. Kinetic field unable to catch King R. Afterlife at the ready here on the sidelines. He is getting poisoned up though, so they'll finally get rid of that poison ward. And this Aegis getting...
They gotta let it go.
Yeah.
They just gotta let it go.
Well, it doesn't look like they want to. Aloha Don's getting very close in. He will get hexed up there. A Bronxing on through the core as well. It's a beautiful static storm, but there's no follow-up damage because they've already taken out the life stealer. No fear getting blown up here. Disruptive food to follow. Poison Nova comes out, but it is too little, too late. Yoku trying to trail from behind, gets called up, and just gets to watch as G is exploded and his own head is chopped off.
I don't know what the goal was there for Virtus.Pro, right? The Lifestealer kind of hanging out outside the pit. He knew there were 5 in there. He knew that the Exorcism was running, which was not even really the problem, as it turns out, but theoretically was a warning indicator that if you engage into that pit, you will just immediately get shredded. Virtus.Pro don't really have any initiators. They've got no blink daggers up, they've got no shadow blades, they've got no innate blinks, and very poor innate maneuverability.
It is
not without those initiators. Moving into the roach pit like that, they just had to. Once they failed at catching somebody from Empire outside of the roach pit, once they'd gotten into the little groundhog hole, they needed to let them go for another day, flush them out some other time.
Could not quite catch them, as you're saying. So, well. VP now going to put themselves deeper into the hole, maybe close to 10,000 behind. Oh goodness, we have Aloha Dance getting pulled forward, getting hexed up. He's silenced as well, stunned now. He can't catch a break, fingered down by the Lion. Ramsey surging forwards, will get glimpsed backwards, but the rest of the team not too far away. Somehow that call misses, even though it looked pretty good, and so Afterlife will take a little bit of damage, but he doesn't care. He has almost 2,000 health right now, and the Exorcism's back up, because of course it is. And Scandal, just going to work on this tier 2.
This is threatening to become Rax, to be quite honest. At least a good chunk of a high ground tower. Virtus.Pro just do not have answers to this Rax.
And now D forced off into a really awful position. He maybe wanted to poison Nova, but it's not going to be happening. Death would cancel by King R. They are right on in there. The mech comes out, but it is not going to be enough. Yoku goes down. And as you said, this could be Rax. Scandal wants to kill off. No Fear will get his man. Will be able to come back in, fully healed up. Will actually gets glimpsed into a little bit of a tight spot. Lifestealer just trying to blow him up, but immediately the call. He doesn't care about your rage. They burn the Aegis on Scandal. The Racks are exposed though, and Lycan working in on them. Necronomicons are on cooldown, so it's going to take them a little bit longer than maybe it would have. But look at that Rax just melt.
I'm not sure what Virtus.Pro do to get back into this game, right? They are in a draft that has no significant cleave, clear, or AoE damage. They do have the Venomancer wards to stall, but in terms of actually pushing out against supers, they're going to have to build that itemization. They're already very behind at this stage. It has dropped from 4,000 net worth lead to 14,000 net worth lead in fewer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I am thoroughly impressed at Empire. Just taking fight after fight and understanding when they can and can't fight. You know, Exorcism's up, or if the Lycan transformation is up, they were ready, and the moment those things were down, they were just backing out cleanly.
And this is just going to become a push soon again, right? The Scandal is going to have Exorcism up very soon. You can see them pushing up down in the jungle.
They're going to give it a try. Miposhka has been initiated on. Afterlife does have a call. Just waiting a little bit. They do manage to get the magnetize off again. G in a lot of trouble. Going to get brought down here. And the rest of the team, there was a mech flying out. Afterlife manages to get the call onto Aloha Dance. Dunks that Lifestealer. This Lifestealer hasn't been able to stay alive in any of these fights. And Afterlife has a god-like streak. They do a lot of damage here to Scandal. Should be able to bring it down that Death Prophet, and now maybe finally they'll bring down Afterlife. They actually vacuum, oh no, glimpse one back in. Afterlife is gonna fall though, and King R caught in, just on the outside of the kinetic field, but should get brought down here as well.
That's a very good trade from the Virtus.Pro. The Empire did something very nice there at the beginning of the fight in that they realized the Venomancer was a target for the silence, got him chain silenced up, and killed him before he got his ult off. And that ult is a big part of the sustainable damage that Virtus.Pro are able to put out. Unfortunately for them, G did have the buyback because he is a core. He just has more gold at his disposal than Venomancer than you're normally used to him having. So that buyback was costly. He is going to be behind on his itemization, but the swing in terms of just overall favorability for Virtus.Pro there was way beyond what I think they could have hoped for.
I was entirely surprised they won that fight, and I think a lot of it comes up the back of I didn't see anything disabling Afterlife on that axe, but I wonder if he just got something stopping his blink, because it took him quite a while to force stealth blink in there. Probably just looking for the perfect call.
Right, yeah. Empire do need to make sure they're not running themselves into the ground like that too frequently, but they still have a pretty solid general push lineup. They still have a very extensive advantage, and their opponents still don't have a very good response to supers. Until those things change, which it is possible that they might change, Empire are still feeling pretty confident, I think, about their position.
They have the full... Well, they could have a Crimson Gold Tomb, but they have the Blade Mail, of course. We've already seen that doing good work on Afterlife. They have a BKB, and now soon to be Shiva's coming out of Death Prophet. Does she have it? Doesn't have it flying after her, but yeah, Ramsey's also making way for his own BKB. It's getting spooky.
Yeah, they are going to strip away another outer tier tower and save the Exorcism, try and go high ground. BP should be aware that there are smoked heroes behind Ramses because they have been seeing the effects of the spells come out from behind.
Oh, gee, drops that poison over a little bit early, but it doesn't matter. I guess he had to because he's going to be going down. No buyback, of course, up on him. A call onto 3 heroes. The Death Ward is going to be dropped in the Static Storm on top of them. The finger comes out still. Somehow, nobody's dead yet. Doom manages to get it off, but the Lycan is back. Oh, that's not Lycan. Sorry, Makoshka, doesn't matter, has already dropped his load. There will be 4 dead, no buybacks. And this is going to be GG.
Yeah, really well played there by Empire. They got off to kind of a slow start, but realized the strength of their draft, realized the strength of their composition, and powered through that mid-game like champions.
Yeah, really well played there to Empire. Not the cleanest of series, but they showed us some really dang good Dota, especially in that second game, that one team fight just to win it all. And a couple of those here too. So... once again, folks, I'm Llama Down Under. I've been joined by the Wonder Cow. You can find us by those names on Twitter. Hit us up with feedback on how to make the casting better for you. And we will see you next time. So